before we get into any kind of the demo itself, we kind of talk about the developer story. It's a way to tell a story of ACE in an environment that didn't have ACE, and when they had ACE, what it really looked like. The idea was we wanted to help them with their 19-step problem, meaning all manual steps. So before they had ACE, they had 19 steps of very manual friction. Just to do a change from their lowest environment all the way through into production, they had 19 steps. And again, that's the average that we see as well. So every change, every time, always took at least 19 steps. And a lot of that doesn't even include the manual back and forth that had to happen. And so this particular environment had a standard in place because it took so long and they had so many changes that they really had a 14 plus day release cycle, which really goes back to the developer's complaint, which is, man, I can't wait that long for my changes to get through. We got to get with the times here. We got to get our changes moved in as fast as possible. That also had a high risk of human error. Because of those 19 steps, the chances of there's being a potential issue with a fat finger or forgot this or whatever it be really caused a lot of friction in the environment because there was changes that would go into production and have an issue and so forth. And then the undiscoverable audit trail. So this particular client had no way to really know what was going on. They did their changes via email, well, actually a Word document, and they'd fill it out and then they would send it via email. And so when the auditors came around, all could do was just show them the email trails themselves. And that was okay many years ago, but in today's day, that's not okay. And so, as I mentioned earlier in the presentation, the problem isn't the technology or the people, it's the process. And so, what happened? We implemented ACE, and here's what it looks like for them today. Three-step automated workflow. The developer logs in, initiates the request. We have our guardrailed environment. We eliminate any bottlenecks because they can quickly look and see, here's what I need to put in the request form so that I make sure that this gets through and there's no email tag back and forth. And so I go fill it out. I then validate. It says, hey, make sure you do these things. I do it. Then I submit it and off it goes with a one-click digital sign-off. Again, removing the email tag and the administrative toil. I then have the manager or whatever my trail is. I get to the actual scheduling team who's got to sign off on this. They look at it. ACE tells them everything that they need. And at that point, they can make the informed decision whether they approve it or reject it. And again, at the beginning, when we work with clients, they still do some due diligence, but as they see ACE does their job very, very well for them, they then say, you know what, I can trust ACE on this. I'm going to click the approve. And at that point, we have instant production deployment, whether it's at 2 a.m., 10 p.m. on a Friday night when you're having to log in and migrate these changes. And by the way, you're at a Minnesota Wild playoff game. I say that because I'm a Minnesota Wild fan, or whatever you're doing. You don't have to do that anymore. ACE will handle it. ACE will take it and migrate it whenever you want it to be migrated, and it lets you know with real-time notification that it happened. And by the way, complete audit trail of everything. This particular client is loving it. They don't have to do a lot of these things that they used to have to do anymore. So that's music to our ears. Yes, we're in the software business to create software and sell software and yada, yada, yada. But the fact of the matter is, you want to know that your software actually is helping people's lives. I mean, that sounds really weird, but the fact of the matter is, I want you to have a better life because of the software we create. There's not many other vendors that would say that, and that's real for us. That's pretty cool. All right, moving on to the ROI. The ROI of one click, meaning it's not a projection, it's actual a client result. So the idea is we have our own ROI calculator. The idea, I think the most important thing to focus on, there's a couple things that we've seen. One, we reduce failure rates. On every single client we've deployed, they've reduced their failure rates. Now, not every one of them keeps track of it, but the ones who do, we reduce it. How do we reduce it? Our validation engine. Our validation engine says, hey, if you let this slide into production, it's going to cause a potential problem. Because we put that at the front level where the developer logs in, the developer then looks at it and says, oh, I can't actually migrate it to the next level or submit approval until I pass these validations. What that means is it's kind of a little bit of a big brother to say, hey, we need you to pass this or you're going to cause problems in production. That's how we reduce failure rates. The other thing I want you to look at on this slide is the bottom left side, which is our speed to value, meaning how fast can we get you saving time and get you actually get the ROI for the particular product. And we're seeing anything typically anywhere from 3 to 6 months. Some of the bigger shops take more time because they have more applications and more people to onboard, but that's it. And really, the faster we can do that, the faster we can get you saving money. What can you expect from ACE? I'm getting a little low on time here, so I'm going to move a little quicker. We will equip you with a governed self-service process that's going to help you with the bottlenecks, and we're going to enforce standards, and we're going to do a lot more. As I mentioned at the beginning, please reach out to us. I'd love to show you much more than I can show you today in this shortened window we have, but we're going to do all that for you. We're going to help with governance, one-click digital sign-offs to make the development communities really happy because your change is going to be just as fast as theirs. We're going to do validations and audit-ready paper trailing. We're going to accelerate with zero risk automation. So we're not going to sacrifice the accuracy of changes. As I mentioned, we're going to increase the accuracy of changes. And we're going to give you 100% predictable outcomes with instant real-time validations. We are trusted by a lot of the folks you see on this slide. Now, that's not all we have. We have plenty more than this that are using our product and experiencing all the things I talked about today. Expect more, expect experience certainty. Sorry, messed that one up. You can achieve great results on all the things we talked about today. Remember, just to reiterate the transformation summary that I talked about. Before this client had ACE, it was a 14-day lead time. Once they did it, they could do changes in the same day. It's possible. Others are doing it, and you can too.